Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this DELL XPS 13 9360. So first thing we're going to need is a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Alright, and then underneath here we're going to need, it looks like a PH0 or JAS0 screwdriver. So first let's go ahead and remove all the T5 or Torx 5 screws. You want to keep all these screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths. This goes for everything, every computer device you take apart. It's always a good idea to put the same screw back where you got it. So the way I do that, flat side down, in the pattern I remove them. So you got this pattern where it's like an upside down U. I guess you can put it in an A pattern because you can see across like that, and then there's one in the middle. All right, whatever helps you remember, but I find that putting it in the pattern that I remove them is the most useful method to remember where I got the screws from. All right, so we're just going to take all these screws out. If this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. These are customer computers, so I won't have these computers by the time you see this video. So hopefully whatever questions you have, I'll be able to answer them, but make sure that you watch the video all the way through. Don't just skip around because sometimes you can cause damage doing that. Alright, so let's go ahead and lift that up, and we switched over to the PH0 or JAS0 screwdriver, and we're going to remove that one screw. Alright, so to remove this, we're going to use I don't know if the suction cup will help on this model. I think I have to just use a thin pry tool along here, but let's try with the suction cup. Alright. Yeah, it's not moving anywhere. Alright, so usually on this model, what I have to do is I open the screen slightly. Oops, why is it logging back in? I shut this thing down. Okay, so the problem with this one, let me see if I can show you this. So when I push the power button here, there you go. The touchscreen goes all crazy, and then it keeps trying to, it registers button presses. So anyways, I'm going to hold the power button to shut this off. Computer keeps trying to do stuff. Anyways, so we shut it off. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to separate the metal part from the keyboard assembly, palm rest. So I just get my fingernails in there. Again, a lot of people, they'll be like, well, I don't have fingernails. I mean, you can grow out your fingernails, but if you don't want to do that, you can also, oh, it keeps turning itself back on. But if you don't want to do that, you can also get some plastic or metal pry tools, all right? So anyways, I'm going to use my fingernails here, and then I'm pushing with my thumbs on the back as I pull with my fingernails back, all right? So here you can see, basically, I'm flexing the cover out this way. All right, so just like that, here you can see, now we got this part of the cover out. We're going to work our way over to the sides now, okay? Hopefully there's a touchscreen connector here that I can remove, and we're going to continue doing the same thing, just working our way over the sides, pushing the back while I kind of pull with my fingernails up. Okay, just like that. Let's rotate it, go to the other side. Okay, all right, there we go. Okay, so we got the cover out now, and we're going to slowly lift it over this way. All right, make sure nothing's attached. Good, so that's what it looks like inside. Okay, so let's see, do we see a trackpad touchscreen? Okay, so there's a touchscreen connection right here. All right, so usually first thing you want to do to be safe is disconnect the battery connector here. Usually it's not that big of a deal, but because this thing keeps turning itself on, I'm gonna pull it out. So I use my fingernails again, and I try and get the edges of the connector, and then you kind of just wiggle this. All right, this left side, for some reason I can barely get my fingernail in there, so let's try again. Okay, if you can't get it out this way, I might have to go by pulling on the cable itself, but let's see, we'll keep trying. Yeah, for some reason the left side's coming out, but the right side's coming out, but the left side isn't. As you can see, it keeps skipping. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, so just keep wiggling it, and there we go. As you can see, we got that connector out. If you can't, it sometimes helps to take the battery out. Let me actually take the battery out so that we can just see underneath. They do tape all this stuff on top, which is those are the speaker wires. So I'm not going to completely take it out, but I'm going to just remove some of the screws so I can move it backwards a little. All right, we're going to switch over to a PH1 or JAS1 screwdriver, and we're going to remove these big flat screws. Okay. There's one small screw here that you need the PH0 or JAS0 screwdriver for, but we're going to remove these big flat circle screws first. Okay, just like that. And then last one here. All right. Okay, so we got those those 3 screws out. Now we're going to remove the one PH0 or JAS0 screw. So I switch the screwdriver again. You don't want to try and use the PH0 or JAS0 screwdriver for these screws, because then you can strip them and then you won't be able to take them out. So keep that in mind. All right, once we got all those screws out, we're going to lift the battery up from back here, right? And then we're going to slowly pull it back a little. Again, they did tape the speaker connector here, so I'm just pulling it back a little, just enough so I can get this battery connector out. Okay, once you've disconnected that, we're going to open up the screen, and then we're going to press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power. This will make it a lot safer to work on and a lot less risk of damaging your computer. If you didn't already, of course, you also want to make sure that you're grounded, touching something metal, or have one of those wrist straps or something to prevent static from building up. All right, so anyways, I'm not going to take all the components out. I'm just going to do like a quick look. My customer's waiting outside, so I can't really be doing all the other stuff. I'm going to look in here. You can see the trackpad connectors, that small blue and white tab. Then you got another connector going down there and another connector going over there. Okay, so it looks like the keyboard connects to a thing on this side, and then that blue cable goes up to the motherboard. So let's see here. All right, so you got the LED board connecting to a little board down here underneath the battery, and the keyboard also connecting, and then you got the cable going up here. So that's how the keyboard and everything connects. All right, there you can see the other end of the touchpad. These kinds of connectors, they're called ZIF connectors, zero insertion force connectors, but basically you flip these little latches up. So you just flip that up, and then once that latches up, you can pull the cable out. I'm gonna push it back down. You got this cable going here for the SD card slot and the USB port on this side. All right, you got this connector here as part of the LCD screen cable. So the LCD LVDS connector is under here. There's 2 screws. Once you get it up, there's a little pull tab. You can use that to pull it up. A lot of times I can't pull that up, so I go underneath and then I pop it up from the side. But again, customer's waiting, so I don't want to take everything completely apart, and I also don't want to risk damaging anything else. The BIOS, CMOS, or RTC, real-time clock battery, is right here. There's just this connector, same like the battery. You just grab the wings and you kind of just wiggle it and pull it out. Speaker connector here. The speaker connects with the blue and white. The red and black cable goes all the way to the other speaker here. Wireless card here. If you want to know how to remove that, I have a video showing that. On pretty much all my other computers, I show how to remove the wireless card. There's one screw, pops up slightly, and you can pull it out. And that's how you get it out. I don't see any replaceable RAM sticks, and I doubt it's underneath, so most likely the RAM is soldered to this board. The SSD is a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD, just one screw. Then you can pull it up slightly and pull it out. Again, it's a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. All right, so we got the touch screen connector right here. It's nice, they label it, and then this one's for the camera. Again, the touchscreen's acting up, so we're just going to disconnect it. The customer didn't say they need it, so we're just going to go ahead and disconnect that and basically stop the touchscreen from going crazy. They thought it was the mouse clicking all over the place, but actually it's the touchscreen. So we disconnect that. We'll leave the camera one connected. The DC jack or charge port connector is right here. There's one screw holding that down. This is the kind of dumb model where they actually wrap the tail of the charge port underneath the motherboard. So you do have to take some screws out, lift the motherboard up, and then you can pull it out. I have other videos for this similar model that show how to do that. But anyways, that's pretty much all there is in here. CPU is soldered to the board. GPU isn't upgradable, CPU isn't upgradable. All right, but yeah, so let's go ahead and reconnect the battery here. All right, let's move it slightly up like that. Oops, sorry, I'm going out of view of the camera. Again, if you want to see how to disconnect these kinds of connectors, I have a lot of videos of this kind of model showing that. So if you want to see that, watch a few of my other videos and you should be able to figure it out. They're all pretty similar design. All right, so let's go ahead now and put this cover back on. Oh, don't forget the screws for the battery, of course. All right, so we're gonna get this screw in over here. Okay, this screw down here. Make sure the screws are tight. You don't want them coming loose and rolling around inside the computer. All right, this screw over here. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the PH0 or JAS0 screwdriver. I'm going to put this screw up here. All right, well, we got that. Let's go ahead and put this cover back on. All right, let's get that all lined up. Snap it all into place. All right. Everything should click and you should see that everything looks nice and flush. Okay, let's go ahead now and put back the PH0 or JS0 screw in the middle. Alright, we're going to switch back to the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. I'm going to flip it back over this way. Let's go ahead and put the 4 along the front of the laptop. Alright, 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll do the 2 down the sides on both sides. Alright, that's pretty much all there is to this. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, again, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel so that others can learn how to upgrade or repair their devices. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Again, every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, and that, thank you for watching. Welcome to stay as I put in the last 2 screws. But that's pretty much it. And let's go ahead and power it back on and make sure that the touchscreen issue is gone. All right, we're gonna power it back up. Oh, I'm getting a call right now. All right, so it's gonna start back up. Let me wait for that to start. All right, and then the moment of truth is if I push the power, oh, there's no touchscreen. So if I use the mouse and push the power button, I think he disabled the trackpad, so I might have to use the tab keys to do it. But if I go there and it doesn't start like closing it, then we should be good to go. So here we go, moment of truth. Up arrow key, it's already a good sign. It didn't try and pull the thing back down. Here you can see the box is staying there when I push the tab key. All right, and then that, and it looks good to go. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.